Hey there and welcome to another episode of the Jack Bosch Show. Today the subject is going to be quite different. By the time that you actually watch this video, I'm already embarking on a 500-mile walk through Spain, which is called the Camino De Santiago. So for 35 days, I'm myself, like however you say that, and a backpack that's weighing around 15 pounds, 2 walking sticks, and 2 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of t-shirts, and or 2 t-shirts and 2 pairs of socks. Right? Basically walking through Spain on something that's called the Camino Frances in a pilgrimage that is called the Camino de Santiago. Now, I'm not usually somebody who wears my religion on my sleeve. I'm not actually doing this for religious reasons, but it's something that has been on my bucket list for a long time. So I left Phoenix on April 15th, 2024. I went home to Germany for a couple of days to spend time with my family. Then I attended actually an internet marketing mastermind for a couple of days. You guys know me as an online educator for real estate and things like that, and land flipping and so on. And then on April 20th, I left to the border of Spain and France, and I started the Camino from there. So when you watch this, if you're watching it right when it was released, I'm already walking. If you're watching this weeks later, I'm probably done already. So make sure you go over to my social media profile on Instagram or Facebook, like Jack Bosch, and see some of the posts, because I'll definitely keep you guys updated as I'm going through this Camino. Now, what is the Camino de Santiago? Well, first of all, it's like something like a 2,000-year-old or almost a 2,000-year-old pilgrimage that people do towards the city of Santiago de Compostela in the northwest of Spain, where it is claimed or supposedly Saint James, one of Jesus's apostles, is buried over there. And since that was kind of like disclosed to the world in some kind of a miracle with like a star and things like that, it has become a place that people go to in order to kind of like ask for forgiveness and things like that. Now that's all the religious kind of things why people do it. In the meantime though, it has become a path. There's actually multiple caminos. There's the Camino Frances, which goes from a little town in France, Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port or something like that, through Pamplona, to Burgos, Logroño, Burgos, and then to Santiago de Compostela. But you can also start it from Portugal, you can start it from Sevilla, you can start it from Madrid, you can start it even, heck, from France, you can even start it all the way from Budapest or from Rome, and there's a whole bunch of tentacles of paths that lead to Santiago de Compostela. Now, what it has become over the centuries, it was millions of people did it, then it almost died down, and then for some reason in the 1980s it started becoming very, very popular again. And right now, 2024 is expected for 400,000 people to actually go down that path. And so it's well catered for. There's hostels and there's little hotels and there's restaurants and stuff like that. You're not like walking through the wilderness like the Appalachian Trail or something like that, where you actually have to camp and things like that. You can bring your tent, but you don't have to. So I'm not planning to. I'm actually planning to stay in a combination of between hostels, where you are like sleeping in a room with like 30 to 70 people, bunch of snoring people and things like that, communal showers and so on and so forth. Where the night costs like $12, which is quite a bit of a difference to the usual 5-star hotels we stay in. But then also I'm probably going to take a good fair share of like small 1 or 2-star hotels, because there isn't anything else than that there. You walk through little villages with 30 houses, and one of them is a hostel, 3 of them are little hotels or pensions, and that's it, right? And then 2 more are like little restaurants and a store, and that's it. And we're going to stay in a combination of those kind of things. So in essence, it's a simplification of life exercise. So 400,000 people are going to do this year from all different paths. And why are they doing it? They're doing it for something, and they're people coming from all over the world. So there's actually multiple different components that come together in the Camino that has been calling me for the last 10 plus years. Like for many, many years, I don't even remember where and when I heard about it the first time, but from the moment I heard about it, I was like, I want to do this sometime. Then I started reading some books about it. There's a famous book by a German guy, Happy Kerkeling. He basically wrote Ich bin dann mal weg or something like that. It's a German version, but it also exists in English. And by now there's hundreds of books that have been written by people that walked it and then afterwards felt the urge to write a book about it. So just simply, if you want to read more about it, just go on Amazon, Google Camino de Santiago. There's lots of books for dirt cheap for a few bucks, or if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can even read them for free on your phones. So with that said, let's go into why am I doing the Camino. So the Camino, they said about 20% of the people, or 20 or 30% of the people do it for religious reasons. About 20-30% do it for spiritual reasons. Some people just want to hike. Some people just want to go into this kind of environment of multicultural things, because there's people from something like 100 different countries walk this. There's apparently a resurgence of people from South Korea that walk it these days. Half of them are actually from Spain. It's a very well-respected kind of path to walk in Spain, and so on and so forth. Well, the reason I walk it is that, very simply, for the last 25 years, or actually let me say, like, I got my first job in the United States where I was working 60 to 80 hours a week as a consultant in a software company. I started that in 1998. So what is that? That's 26 years that I've basically worked my butt off. And so have many other people. But at the same time, we're now, and have been for many years, in a financial position, in an organizational position, in a position of like assets, in a position of our family, that our daughter is now 16 and a half years old. She can fend for herself in a way. When she was 5, I didn't want to leave the family for 6 weeks. I wanted to see her every day and have her grow up. Now, of course, I also want to see her every day, but she's now much more self-sufficient and spend time with her friends and so on. So it's now time that I chose this year as the year that I want to do it, because it seems like a lot of things in life and in business are set to give me the freedom to actually take 35 days off, plus the 5 days up front, 40 days, plus and actually 3 weeks afterwards, because at the end of the journey, Michelle and Sophia are going to meet me at the end, and we're going to take a 3-week vacation where we're going to go to Portugal and to Greece and to Istanbul and to Germany, and just do like European travel to just decompress and also to integrate the experience of the Camino. Now, again, why would anyone want to do this? Basically take 35 days with a backpack and go walk about 15 to 20 miles a day, which is almost close to a marathon, and certain days are going to be the distance of a marathon, to only then rest for half a day and do it again the next day. Why would anyone want to do this? Basically simplification of life, but basically hand wash your clothes hanging up, wear one t-shirt while another one is drying, wear one pants while another set is drying, wear one underwear while another one is drying, and then basically stay in kind of 0-star hostels where you actually there's a curfew where you actually have to be in bed, which you probably are that tired anyway, by 10 p.m. and by 8 a.m. you have to be out of there again, where the night costs between $5 and $12. When I could afford any luxury hotel in the world? Well, the answer is very simply that over the last 26 years, we have lived an ever more exciting, ever more abundant, and a life with more and more stuff around us. And I think it's just simply time to take a break. It's simply time to pull the line and basically say, you know what, let's stop for a moment and let's simplify everything down to the absolute bare minimum. Let's simply take it down to the process of, I take a backpack, and even selecting them was a process, and just simply focus on 3 things in life every single day. Number 1, where do I go today? Because the way the Camino works is that there's actually yellow signs on the street. You don't even have a GPS or a map. Now, of course, I bring my phone, but I try to keep it off. And, well, you just follow the yellow signs on the street, and you follow them for 500 miles, right? Until they bring you on to the cathedral in Santiago de Compostela. So how to find my way is number one. Where do I sleep? And what do I eat? That's it. So you're bringing your life back down from all the millions of decisions that as an entrepreneur you make every single year, all the dozens of decisions you make every single day, down to 3 things. Where do I sleep tonight? What do I eat tonight? And where's the next arrow that I need to follow in order to make sure I don't get lost? And there's a beauty of that is actually very exciting, that you just simply bring it down to those 3 things. A beauty of simplification of life, a beauty of not what do I wear today, which shoes do I put on today, what cologne do I wear today, which car do I take today, who am I meeting today, what business decisions do I need to take today. But very simply, the clothing decision is very simple. I'm taking 2 pairs of hiking pants. They have a zipper that I can take them off, so I don't even take an extra pair of shorts. That's it, 2 pairs of pants. I hike in one, and I have another one for the evening. Right? And then when they're dirty, I wash them, and I wear the same one, the one that's washed, I wear the other one for that day. Right? 2 pairs of underwear. I wash them, you arrive at your location, you hand wash them, you hang them up, you wear the other pair of underwear for the evening and the night and for the next day hike while these other ones are drying. 2 pairs of socks. I bring in a 3rd pair, one for the evening, 2 pairs of hiking socks, 1 pair of evening socks. 1 pair of shoes, your hiking boots, and a pair of sandals. 2 t-shirts, 1 kind of shirt, kind of a fleece kind of shirt for if it gets colder, a puffer jacket if it gets really cold, and a sleeping bag. A few medications, a few kind of things like bug spray and stuff like that. Toothbrush, deodorant. That's it. That's it. Water, some snacks and things like that. If you add it all together, including the weight of the backpack, that's 15 pounds. That's what I already measured. Right? So it's bringing life down to the bare, simple minimum. And if you have lived a life as an entrepreneur perhaps, or as an executive or somewhere, or in any kind of things in life where you have to make a lot of decisions on an ongoing basis, then I think you can probably relate that it's something almost sexy, almost like attractive, almost like pulling to live a life for a short period of time where you don't need to make any decisions other than do I turn left or right or keep straight. Right? Or where I go into a place where it's like in the evening where I perhaps pre-book a little hostel or room for the next day that I know I have a place to sleep. Like in my case, I pre-booked the first 5 nights of hotel and the last 5 nights of hotel, and the 25 nights in between are not booked. I don't know where I'm going to sleep. And that's something that makes me smile. Makes a lot of people freak out, but it makes me smile. So here's the thing. It's all about simplifying life. And then there's another saying of the Camino De Santiago. They say the first third is physical. Because when you walk 15 to 20 miles a day, everything in your body most likely will hurt, at least from what I read. The second, but it's also pretty amazing, apparently, well, I hope that's going to be the case for me too, how fast your body gets stronger. Now, I actually spent the last few months actually training. I bought a backpack. I went into the mountain preserve behind our house. I did 3-mile hikes, 5-mile hikes, 7-mile hikes, 10-mile hikes, and I started building up resistance and putting more and more weight on me. So I hope I'm prepared for that. But what I haven't done is go day after day after day after day and go 15 miles. I did 2-3 days a week for like 3 miles, 5 miles, 7 miles, and I could already feel how I was tired. So let's see how that works. Within 10 days is physical. The second day, 10 days, they say, is mental. Because as you get through those physical limitations and perhaps even injuries and things like that, you gotta overcome those things. You can't just quit. You gotta keep forward. You gotta keep moving forward. You can't give up. You're in the middle of nowhere in Spain. There's little villages. You can't just say, you know what, I'm done. There's no taxi coming by. There's nobody you can just call. You've gotta keep going. And that mental fortitude, that is something that I think I have, but I think it will be tested to the limit during that Camino. And then they say the third part of it, once you overcome the physical limitations, and once you overcome your mental attitude of like, can I do this? Am I about to give up? This is too much pain. Why the heck am I doing this? Those kind of questions, those inner demons are all coming up. And on top of it, you're walking for about 6 hours a day, mostly alone. Now, over time, you build friendships. You build what they call your Camino family. It's the same people that you meet again and again, and sometimes you walk for days together. But I will make it a point to walk as much as possible alone, because I actually want the experience of being alone with my thought, without my earbuds, without my phone playing music for like 6-7 hours a day, because that on its own is going to be an experience. And then the third is spiritual. Because when you get to that point of having overcome the physical limitations and having overcome the mental limitations, now apparently it all opens up and it all becomes, well, if you're lucky, everyone has different experience, but some of the experience I read about were magical. So let's see what happens. But all of this sounds incredibly intriguing to me, sounds incredibly exciting to me, sounds incredibly hard to me too. But hey, for 28 years, or 26 years, Michelle and I have worked our butts off, sometimes 100 hours a week. Sometimes we also have taken 3 months vacations, absolutely. Particularly in the last probably 10 years, we have taken lots of long-term vacations. But there's a difference between taking a long-term vacation, let's say a 6-week trip, where you check your emails every day, where you spend an hour or two working like on things and advising your team and helping the team doing things and doing a webinar here and there and signing documents and perhaps having a mobile notary come and closing on a deal and acquiring a deal. Just even like last week, as I'm recording this, a couple of weeks ago as I'm recording this, I was in Hawaii in our condo and I was signing, we did 3 real estate deals while I was there. So there's a mobile notary coming to sign something. There's a virtual notary. We're signing contracts, sending things online, doing DocuSigns and things like that. So while on vacation, we still worked. Because as an entrepreneur, you never stop. And this is the first time in 26 years that I will stop. My team is trained. My team knows to check all my emails. The goal is to process 2 to 3 emails a week with absolute urgent, unavoidable decisions that I might have to make. The goal is to not even respond to text messages. The goal is to have the phone turned off for 2 days at a time. And unless I get lost and I might have to bring it up for GPS purposes. The goal is to not even be in social media. I mean, I will be in social media, but probably every other day post something. So if you want to follow me, make sure you follow me. Go to Jack Bosch on Instagram and Facebook and follow me. I'll be definitely posting some posts about how much pain I'm in, what the experience is like, a lot of the doubts and things that are probably going to come up. I'll be sharing a good amount there, but I won't be oversharing. This is not going to be a documentary of Jack Bosch going down the Camino de Santiago. I'm going to be turning the phone off and just occasionally sharing something. So if you want to be part of that, if you want to follow that, if that was somewhat inspiring, if that's something that it's on your bucket list, or if you can even never even imagine that, I would challenge you, if you can never imagine it, I would challenge you to imagine a time for like 30 days, 35 days, where you just completely unplugged of everything that is currently just noise and distraction or challenges that you're facing, and just allow yourself the time to connect with yourself, allow yourself the time to go through that process of just like, of coming up, getting to clarity of what the next steps in your life are. We have run certain businesses we have run our land flipping business for 23 years. We've run our coaching business for 16 years. We've run our multifamily business for 12 years or something like that, or also somewhere around 12 to 15 years. And we're running a lot of parallel businesses. We have other business opportunities come our way all the time. And while it's always tempting to say yes and look at things like that, I think right now it's simply time to take a break, to walk, and to come back with a clarity of what the next 53 years of my life will bring. Because I'm 53 right now. I consider myself about halfway in my life because I'm planning to be 106 or 107 at least. And with a technology progression that is actually happening, I think that's very, very reasonable for us to be that old and feel like we're still 53 or feel like we're 60, but be 100. It's not about longevity. It's about longer health span, like be healthier for a long time. And as a result of that, it's kind of like a point in our lives where we want to go look at look at each other. And by the way, I'm going alone. Michelle's not coming with me. She's going to be at home with Sophia, and then they're going to join me at the end. And then they're going to wait for me in Santiago de Compostela as I'm walking in. Got a big family hug, probably some tears involved, and then go from there, spend a couple of days there, and then go on our trip to just chill, relax, and recover from a very arduous and strenuous 500 miles they'll be walking. So again, that break is something that I want to do. I always wanted to do. It became more and more urgent over the last few years. And now this year is the year that I want to do it, because I want to connect with myself, and I want to basically have the time to really think about what are the most important priorities in our life. Now, I already know my family, Michelle, Sophia, will be and will always be my number one priority. But beyond that, how will our life look like in the future? We have a great team that can run our businesses like without us being much involved. So this is the first time in many years that I'm able to do this and just simply disconnect. Now, the process getting there was rather a lot of fun. The process getting there was like, what backpack do you buy? What socks do you buy? What shoes do you buy? I probably bought like 12 pairs of shoes, sent 9 of them back, just ride them around the house, of course, to keep them clean. But finally found my perfect pair and a perfect backup pair, as slippers and so on. Finally found the right shoes and so on. So I went in a process where I probably got like 100 packages from Amazon sent to me, and then, not 100, probably 50 packages with little kind of things, all are super lightweight. And I'm now ready to have my perfect pack together. I'm about a week away from leaving right now as I'm recording this. And by the time that you see this, I'm already on my way, or if you're watching it as a recording on YouTube or so, I might already be back. So comment your thought below. Put some comments into here if you're watching this on YouTube, or if you're listening to that. Contact us, ask questions about it. I love to share what the experiences is with you. So make sure you follow me on social media, check it out, and I'll be reporting back along the way, and probably with a podcast episode after I'm back too, on what the experience was on the Camino de Santiago. All right, looking forward to that. Hope you enjoyed that episode, something completely different. Hope I inspired a couple of people to take a time out if you can, take a break here and there. As they say with the athletes, you can't just be running. Athletes, after they go to the Olympics, they also take a few weeks or they just absolutely do nothing. We need to do this mentally sometimes, and as entrepreneurs, we don't do it enough. I've really, in terms of complete disconnect, for that long, I don't think I've ever done it, or I've not done it probably in 30 years. Last time I've done it was in college, where I've taken 30 days and also traveled to Spain, coincidentally. So it's exactly 30 years after that. So it's time to do it again in a completely different way. Right. Thank you very much. This concludes our podcast.